Hello, and welcome to another episode of me talking about Colombia. We previously saw how Colombia is divided into 5 regions, regiones. We saw the Caribbean and Pacific region, the coastlines of the country. We also saw the Amazonica and Orinoco region. And the last one to go is la Región Andina. This one shares the name with la Cordillera de los Andes, which, remember, is divided into eastern, center, and west. Each region is divided into what we call departamentos, and each departamento has a capital city. La Región Andina has a total of 10 departamentos. This is a fascinating region also because of the position. It touches all of the other regions and has the highest density. About 75% of the Colombian population lives in this area. It also goes from high to low, so there are a lot of climates, which means a very varied ecosystem. But let's check the departamentos. Starting with Norte de Santander, the last departamento that we will see that touches Venezuela, known for the petrol and carbon extraction, as well as the national parks. Here you can also visit El Páramo de Santurbán. A páramo is a high tropical mountain area, where you can find very fascinating plants, such as El Frailejón, a very dear plant for us Colombians. The capital is Cúcuta. Next we have Santander. Yes, we have a Norte de Santander and a Santander. Santander touches the river Magdalena, and there are a lot of fauna and flora sanctuaries. You can also visit El Cañón del Chicamocha, as well as the Festival de la Música Andina. And from here come the big possum ants, las hormigas culonas, which I think are actually quite good. And the capital is Bucaramanga. Follow we have Boyacá, known for the historical battles that were fought in this area. It touches 3 rivers, Magdalena, Arauca, and Meta. Boyacá is known for the lagoons, lakes, and national parks, as well as the extraction of emeralds. The capital is Tunja. However, you can also visit small towns such as Villa de Leyva and Ráquira. These are small towns where you can admire the architecture, and in Villa de Leyva in particular, at the end of the year, there is a festival of lights. Next we have Antioquia, which actually touches the Caribbean Sea, but it is deemed as part of the Región Andina. Known for the national parks, one of which is Los Catios. Also for the production of alcohol. Here you can also visit La Fiesta de las Flores, a beautiful way to see the various flowers that Colombia produces. And the capital is Medellín, which you might know because a lot of artists come from there. Next we have Huila. Here you can find the archaeology park of San Agustin, as well as the Tatacoa Desert, and El Nevado del Huila, which is a volcano. In this departamento, you can also go to the Festival del Bambuco. Bambuco is a genre of music typical of Colombia and Venezuela, and the capital of Huila is Neiva. We have Tolima, known for the agriculture, and it is quite a very known zone for internal vacations. What I mean by that is that here you can find places like Melgar, small towns with grey weather, where during vacation a lot of people visit. Here you can also find a typical dish called lechona. We take a pig and we sort of take full advantage of it, and we serve it even with the whole pig open. It sounds a bit weird, but it is actually very good. And the capital of Tolima is Ibagué. For the next departamentos, we have to get a little bit closer. We have Quindío. And with Quindío, we introduce what is known as El Eje Cafetero. This is a zone of 4 departamentos, Antioquia, that we already saw, Quindío, and 2 others that we will later see, that are protected by UNESCO because of the agriculture of café. Here you can also visit Panaca, which stands for Parque Nacional de la Cultura Agropecuaria. Basically, National Park of Agriculture. I visited long ago and it was beautiful. It is a very open place with a lot of animals, and it is very educational for all ages. Now from Quindío comes La Palma de Cera del Quindío, which, if you recall, is the national tree of Colombia. And the capital of Quindío is Armenia. Next we have Risaralda, part of El Eje Cafetero, but also known for the casual, as well as the music. We saw Bambuco, but from here you can also have Pasillo and Porro, and the capital is Pereira. We have Caldas, which is fascinating because just in this small department you have all climates. You touch the river Magdalena and Cauca, but then you go all the way up to El Nevado del Ruiz, another volcano. Also here you can find a lot of historical towns and the old railways. And in the capital Manizales, you can visit La Feria de Manizales. And the last departamento is Cundinamarca. In this departamento, you can visit La Catedral de Sal de Zipaquirá, the Jaime Duque Park, and El Salto de Tequendama. And the capital of Cundinamarca is Bogotá, which is the capital city. Okay then, quick rundown. Norte de Santander, Cúcuta. Santander, Bucaramanga. Boyacá, Tunja. Antioquia, Medellín. Huila, Neiva. Tolima, Ibagué. Quindío, Armenia. Risaralda, Pereira. Caldas, Manizales. Cundinamarca, Bogotá. As you can see, La Región Andina is fascinating. It touches the main river Magdalena, but there are also many other water resources. And because it is between La Cordillera, you have a wild wildlife. And that's why we have so many national parks. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I haven't mentioned any indigenous groups yet. The reason for it is that, similar to rivers, we can point out a certain area that they belong to, but they also can touch other grounds. So instead, I wanted to talk about just the indigenous groups of this region in general, such as the Guanes, Tolimas, Quimbayas, and Metilones. And in particular, we have the Muiscas. It's from the Muisca culture that comes the legend of El Dorado, which is not actually a legend. So much so that the lagoon, Laguna de Guatavita, where they used to throw the goal, actually exists and you can visit it. It is quite beautiful. I will also like to remind you that in these videos I have talked about some of the indigenous groups of Colombia. There are many others, so if you're interested, you should check them out. Sometimes as Colombians we don't give enough credit to the indigenous groups that exist. In terms of music, we already saw bambuco, as well as pasillo and porro. But there's also something called torbellino. This is a dance that comes from the campesinos. Campesino meaning country folk. This is the way we refer to the people that come from these small towns. In terms of food, we already talked about the big bottom ants. We name alcohol, mainly aguardiente, but you also have things like bandeja paisa, as well as achiras, in particular achiras del Huila, as well as arepa. So, 5 regions divided into departamentos. There are a total of 32 departments in the country. We can actually also say 32 plus the capital city, because Bogotá, even though it is the capital of Cundinamarca, it is independent. But overall, 32 departments. I also wanted to add the coordinates of Bogotá, because I thought it was fun. I mean, it is just 40 degrees north from the equator. So a quick reminder that that's why we don't actually have seasons. I had the population, so I wanted to add the extension. All of these places that we saw add up to a bit over 1 million square kilometers. And just like that, we saw Colombia, the main division of the country, and just a bit of a taste of the beauty of it, in terms of music, food, people, and in general, culture. Quick question, out of the places in La Región Andina, which ones would you like to visit? And also, would you taste the big bottom ants? Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye!